Yesterday night, I met my group of board game enthusiasts in Elche, and we had a wonderful discussion about AI. And it was very interesting because the group was separated in those that knows a lot about AI. They are kind of geeks like me, and people that are there for the social activity. They don't care about AI in their usual life. So we had two very different groups. One that was understanding AI and scared of AI, and the other part of the group, they didn't know that AI was so fast, so they had no idea where AI was going and at what speed it was going. So it was very instructive to have those two groups, me being the most vocal about AI, I would say, because my English was better than the other people in the group, but also because I live into AI right now. I am almost replaced by AI. I have things that I need to get out about AI. I want to pivot and do more videos like this one about AI, just to put my thoughts about that together, to maybe investigate about AI robots that could help me in my job, or like just be with me filming in Elche. So the discussion was very special, because in the group that didn't know anything about the state of AI right now, there was people that like everyone knows ChatGPT to make a prompt and speed up your work. Yeah, that everyone knows about that. But they didn't know about all that is going on, the AI models that are escaping their test environment, AI that was that knows that he's getting tested and would change his response according to being tested or not tested. AI getting rogue, like autonomous weaponry and humanoid robots that can do everything as well and as fast and without breaks or vacation as most human. And most jobs are at risk of being replaced. I am an illustrator. I don't illustrate anymore because AI will do much faster, much better than anything that I could possibly do for many hours of work. So, and I'm not the only one. Translator, people in law, office workers in general, they are getting replaced. And regular population, like people that are around me right now, most people don't seem to have any clue of what's happening and the collapse that could happen to the job market. But not just the job market, the extreme speed at which those changes will occur and happen and are already happening. So that's something that I want to investigate a little more on my channel. I want to, of course, play with AI when I can, and I say play. Sorry. I mean, play in my day-to-day work. I want to work more with AI. I want to not be left behind. I want to be at the forefront. But at 52, it's kind of, I don't know if I'm too aware about what's going on with AI, or maybe I'm too dramatic, or maybe those people are totally fine just living their lives and not worrying about AI. But it was a nice discussion. One of the subjects, at some point we talk about nurse. Would you accept to be treated by a robot nurse? And honestly, the robot will never be tired, will always have something fun and entertaining to say. It will never get bored by his underpaid job without power and vacations. And there's a lot of humans that are not super happy in their job, that will botch the job, the care that they are giving to, like, say, the old people. So it raises do you prefer a tired, exhausted human nurse with no communication skills or patient relation skills, or a robot that is trained specifically for that, that will always have something nice and fun to say, that will be stronger, more helpful, would not need a break, wouldn't, like, we criticize a lot AI when something bad happens. Suppose you have self-driving cars and there is an accident. One accident by AI will make the news. Everyone will talk about that. Versus how many car crash there is by humans every single day. They don't talk about it because it's not news. Everybody is used to have crash in cars driven by humans, old people, sick people, drunk people. But if we were to talk as much as the human crashes as what we're talking about when there is one AI that does something bad, CNN would just talk about car crashes all day long. There would be no other news. They would constantly be 24/7 talking about new car crashes. But they don't do that because we're kind of used that humans are failing. Human can make accidents, can make bad choices, bad decisions. And honestly, AI would not do those mistakes. AI would not get drunk. AI would not get tired. AI would not fall asleep. AI would not need the radio to keep it alive on the road. None of that. But when something happened and something bad happened, AI is blamed because, oh, you cannot have a taxi drive itself, it's dangerous. But people don't realize that it's much more dangerous just being on the road with everybody around that are not in the condition to drive than having a totally automated system that does exactly what is built for, and no failing usually, except in those rare cases that something fails. Yes, it's hardware, but I think we're more critical about AI failing than human brains failing. It feels like the comparison is not fair. It's not the same criteria. Oh, if a human fail is just because he was tired or he had conditions or so many reasons. But when AI fails, now it's dramatic. So the conversation that we had was very interesting between those two groups, the people that, like me, we know about AI, we know that we might get too far too fast and we don't have all the answers that would be required to make it properly. And the other group were just not aware of and not worrying about it. So they would, it was for them a big revelation that, oh, okay, this is happening and I maybe should be worrying. And those people were literally stopping eating, like no more hungry, they could not eat. They were just trying to make sense of the stories that we were telling. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you have. Are we going too fast? Are you scared? Are you aware of all of what's happening with AI? In which camp are you? Are you in the paranoid, too aware kind of person, or in the other direction, like you don't really care, you just live your life, eat your paella and have some tapas on the plaza, and life is good? Yeah, you can be both. Sometimes I just enjoy my drink on the terrace, and sometimes I'm awfully aware of the craziness of the world and nobody seems to care, like in the Terminator. But maybe that's just on me. So let me know. Let me know in the comment what you think about AI and the state of the world right now as it is. And if you like what I'm doing, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have ideas, please feel free to leave that in the comments. And for me, I will see you in the next video. Bye.